What's up, guys? Thank you for tuning in to the Uncommon Mindset podcast. Today, I'm joined by a very, very special guest. Today, I'm joined by Geo Martinez. I'll just give you a brief background on who Geo is. Geo, also known as Freakazoid, is a Jiu-Jitsu black belt under Eddie Bravo and one of the top American grapplers in the no-gi competitive scene, having defeated big names of the sport such as Jeff Glover, Fabbio Passos, Paulo Miyao, and Ash Williams. A submission-orientated fighter, Martinez came from a breakdancing background, quickly adapting to the 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu system, reaching his black belt status in only 3 years of training. Gio is also the brother of another talented competitor and an absolute incredible human, Richie Martinez. What an uncommon individual, and such an honor to have you on the podcast today.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Thank you.
No worries, Gio. That's totally fine. Yeah, I just want to take it all the way back to you. I think that's the best place to start this podcast. Just talk to me about like your upbringing, like when and why did you get into breakdancing, and what did that whole process look like?
You know, originally, me and my brother come from a single parent mother. Our mom she was a professional dancer. She went to like art school and stuff like that. She lived in LA. She was kind of like in the industry, I guess. But you know, she had kids, and pretty much her and my dad, broke up or whatever. And my mom had to deal with all three of us by herself. So she kind of had to like, she couldn't really follow her dream and really focus on that. But she always made sure that me, my sister, and my brother, that we got introduced into the arts, and we really found ways to express ourselves. And, the first thing that really caught our attention was dancing. Dancing was just something that it was cool. Like when I first saw it, I thought it was like awesome. I thought it was like very impressive the way it looked. And honestly, I just thought it looked really cool, and I wanted to be cool. I was like in fourth grade. I was about like, I was young, and I was like influenced by things that just looked cool, and breakdancing looked really fun. It looked cool. And, our next door neighbors happened to be the best dancers in our, in our little like street or whatever. And, they ended up just becoming really close friends with us and helping us learn how to dance. And me and my brother fell in love with that dance. And really, I think it came from my mom. My mom always wanted us to find ways to express ourselves through some kind of art. And dancing was the first art that really impressed us, and we fell in love with.
Oh, that's brilliant. Yeah. And when did you actually start get involved in jiu-jitsu then?
So I felt like I had like two different lives, like I felt like I had like a whole crazy life journey with dancing. Me and my brother traveled the world, and we battled the best crews in the world. We had some ups and downs. We lost, we won. We did everything with dancing that we could have done, and we've done a bunch of shows for big artists and really enjoyed it. But, we hit a wall, and, it kind of mentally broke us. Like we weren't sure what we were doing with our lives. I mean? Dancing can only do so much. And, you're after you do something for so long, you need something new, something that makes you, keeps you motivated, keeps that fire burning. And I feel like, b-boying and dancing was always a big part of my life, but I've been doing it for so long that I needed something fresh, something new. And plus dancing, there was no real money to be made. It's hard to make any kind of money. So, coming from a single parent mother, and, obviously she comes from Mexico. So we had like, I feel like we just didn't really have much growing up, but we always had the love. We always had the, the want to be good at things. And my mom always had like, that motivation, giving us that motivation to work hard. And, once I was kind of dying down with my dancing, and I felt like we accomplished a lot, I just was kind of depressed. Honestly, I hit a wall, and I wasn't really happy with my life, what I was doing. And I just felt like I wasn't productive. I was going to all these battles, but I was like spending more money, traveling and doing all that. And I was like, struggling, making ends to pay my rent or to have food, and it was really hard times for me. And my brother was kind of struggling through the same thing, but he was a little older than me. So he kind of experienced I kind of saw what he was going through, and I was like, man, like we got to do something. We got to figure something out. And, or whatever, I'm just going to like, this is my life. I'm going to live forever, a struggling artist. And jiu-jitsu came into our life because one of my buddies, one of my good friends that I know forever, he's like an old school OG in the breakdancing community over here in Oceanside in San Diego. His name is Sewer, B-Boy Sewer, connoisseur. And he's very into every kind of art. And he introduced me into jiu-jitsu. He showed me a video of Abu Dhabi ADCC, the old school ones, and he showed me the documentary Choke with Hickson Gracie, and I just fell in love with it. I loved it. I thought I could be good at it because I was always like, we were always fighting growing up and getting into like trouble with other crews or other people in our neighborhood, and I always felt I could fight. I don't know. It was just like, maybe it was just in my head at the time, but I was like, I think I could be good at this. I think I'm too old. I was like 24, 23 years old at the time. And I'm like, I think I'm too old to pick up anything and be really good, be world class in. But my friend introduced me to that, and I guess he went out and was hanging out with one of his friends, and he met this guy named Ryan. And Ryan was looking for some dance instructors to help him teach at his academy that he was going to open up a 10th Planet with Sean Bollinger. He was going to open up a 10th Planet in Vista, which was where I was living at, which is in North County, San Diego. He was looking for a dancer, like a masculine dancer for his son, because his son didn't want to do jiu-jitsu or martial arts. He wanted to dance, but his father wanted him to get into some kind of more of a masculine kind of dance, I guess. He didn't want him to do like ballet or something. I don't know why, but that was his thing. He just wanted his kid to do something more like masculine. I guess breakdancing is kind of masculine. And he found out that I was teaching breakdancing, and he just kind of clicked. We clicked, and we talked about, possibly me coming and teaching. And, and he told me if I teach, I can train for free. So that was like something that I thought about. I was like, man, like, should I just take advantage of this? I got nothing else going on. I'm bored. I need something new, and like, I just saw like a window of opportunity, I mean, I saw it, and I just went for it. I was like, who cares? Like, whatever. I got nothing going on. I'm a dancer. I'm a well-known dancer, but I'm not happy. Like, I got to figure, I can learn some new shit. Why not? Go for it. And I started teaching full-time at that school, and I started training full-time as well. And the first day I did jiu-jitsu, I remember getting tapped out by a girl and just being like really humbled. And a small girl, a really tiny girl tapped me out, and I got really humbled, but I fell in love with it. Some people shy away, especially a lot of B-boys, because you have an ego. In the B-boy community, it's okay to have an ego and think you're the shit, because that's kind of like the attitude you got to have. And, I honestly kind of felt like I was kind of like that before jiu-jitsu, and I got humbled, the first day, and I couldn't, part of me wanted to just say like, fuck this, I don't need this. But the other part of me was like, man, like, this is like a sign. This is like, awakening for me. This is something unique and powerful. I felt jiu-jitsu was very powerful. The energy I felt with jiu-jitsu was the same energy I felt when I first started dancing. It was like I had that, like, when I went home and I fell asleep, like before I fell asleep, I was just thinking about jiu-jitsu. I just couldn't stop thinking about it. And I felt like this was my second calling. And I honestly committed every day of my life since that day to become one of the best grapplers in the world and to make my name and get respect in the community.
No, you've definitely done that. Trust me, you've definitely done that. No. So did you start before Richie then? I'm guessing you started jiu-jitsu before Richie, is it?
I actually did start jiu-jitsu before Richie, because I got my brother at that time just like moved away from our hometown, just like moved randomly to like Central California. I'm in South California. He moved to Central California, and we had a friend there. He went to go stay with his friend, and he just started working as a janitor at a college randomly. He was just like a janitor working at a college and just trying to make money. Try to do his thing, try to live life. And I felt he moved away because he was searching for something new as well. He was looking for something new at the time, and he's my big brother, and like I felt like once I discovered jiu-jitsu and I felt what it could do for me, I had to introduce that to my bro, and he came over for the holidays to visit. And I told him, hey, let's roll. Like, because my brother always, Boogeyman Richie was always my big brother. He could always beat me up. And I was like, this is my time. Let's roll. Let's wrestle, And we started grappling. And, I must have tapped him out like 100 times. And he just kept coming back. He's like, let's go again. Let's roll again. He didn't know what he was doing, but he just like me, he got hooked. He got addicted. And at the time, he had a girlfriend. He's married to her now. Her name is Nora. And he ended up moving away from over there the weekend after and moved back to like our family's house and just started training full time with me. Left everything behind and just started training full time, and the rest is history when it comes down to what we accomplished and what we did and how far we went. My brother started training MMA as well. He became a pretty well accomplished MMA fighter, and you know, just kind of proved to the MMA community that we're also, you know, adaptable in that art as well. You know, being able to mix it all up. And you know, a lot of people over here is like, yeah, you're good at jiu-jitsu, but can you fight? It's like, well, we had to kind of like prove ourselves in that community too. And my brother did really well. I never took MMA just because like I just felt it wasn't for me. Even though I wish I would have done it, I just didn't do it. But I love it, and I learned a lot from seeing my brother go through it. And I'm happy he did it because it kind of gave us you know, added that to our resume in a sense. You know, the Freak Bros, like we understand MMA, and that's why we have a lot of MMA fighters in our team. And that's why my brother got introduced to the San Diego Combat Academy and started teaching there full time. And then eventually he converted that into the 10th Planet San Diego. And that's where we got connected to like Alima McFarlane, YL, and like Liz Carmouche, all these high level MMA fighters that were coming up that needed a jiu-jitsu coach. And then we ended up filling in that spot perfectly. It came at the right time, I guess.
Wow, incredible. Yeah. And I know, you know, you both got your black belts in like 3 years, right? That is kind of crazy. Some people think that, you know, some people are like, oh, you need to wait 8 to 10 years to get a black belt. But I'm guessing your breakdancing helped you out a lot, right? To be good at jiu-jitsu.
Definitely 100%. The thing was like when I started, like my other crewmates that are part of the Freak Show, they all were living nearby. We all were here in SoCal, and they started training too. And all of them got up to their purple belts and blue belts just as fast as I did. I got my blue belt in 3 months, and I got my purple belt in 1 year. But you know, people don't realize like, you know, those 3 months that year, like we competed as much as anybody does, you know, like or more than anybody does in like a couple years. You know, we just really fast forward everything and went to like that hyper speed mode of just trying to fast forward our you know, our skills and our knowledge and just our experience by going out there and putting ourselves in the fire. You know, we didn't take the easy route and just kind of like sucked up to our master or anything like that. We put in that work. Eddie didn't want to promote us. You know, he told his speech when he promoted me, he's like, I don't want to promote Geo to his black belt this fast. You know, it wasn't my intention, but he just keeps winning everything and I can't hold him back. You know what I mean? And you know, that always stuck with me because like I remember Eddie didn't want to promote me fast. He wanted me to do the whole like everything, and it just like he just couldn't help himself, and he ended up promoting me fast. And then a couple months later, he promoted my brother. But like I said, we're already winning big tournaments. All as a blue belt, you know, I was already submitting really high level people out here in SoCal, and Eddie knew about it. Everyone knew about it. So the people that didn't train with me or experience like a session with me probably questioned it. But then when I went, you know, my first year when I got my black belt and I won 2 EBIs and I beat some high level black belts, and then I won the ADCC trials, I think that's when people started realizing that, you know, we were the real deal, and we kind of got accepted after that.
Yeah. No, 100%. Yeah. And you obviously mentioned Eddie Bravo there. What was it like, you know, meeting Eddie, you know, because I know you said before, like he's changed your life in a way, right? And you met him when you were purple belt, was it? And he promoted you as
I
well.
met Eddie like when a white belt, but I started training with him full time as a purple belt. You know,
Oh,
because I was training under Sean Bollinger, and he was one of Eddie's second black belt. He was a young guy, and he's still out there training and killing it. But you know, he was, you know, a good coach, but I needed something more. I feel like, you know, I was more hungry for Eddie. You know, I needed what Eddie has. You know, Eddie, when I first met him, I wasn't sure what to think about him. I was just like everyone else, watching Joe Rogan, watching videos, and you know, for some reason, I felt like even before I did jiu-jitsu, I saw Eddie like on, you know, online and videos and stuff, and I was like, I feel like I know this guy already. I feel like I could be cool with him and Joe Rogan. I feel like they think a lot like I do, and I feel like I don't know. I just feel like I almost like I knew I was gonna connect myself to them, you know, without even connecting myself to them, without even starting jiu-jitsu. I was already intrigued by Eddie and Joe Rogan and what they were creating at the time, and I just like when I first met Eddie, I remember it was at a 10 Planet party, holiday party. Eddie Bravo throws like a big holiday party every year. And the first one I ever went to was at someone's house. It was like a big house. It was a very nice house. And we went in there and we were just representing the 10 Planet Vista crew. We were like the brand new crew. And there's all the 10 Planet schools there. And everyone's doing their stuff. And there's a video of that day because Eddie recorded it because I came on my crew. He's like, hey, you guys are the Vista boys. I heard you guys are good at breakdancing. I was like, yeah, we're pretty good. And he's like, what you guys got? And then he recorded it and put it on MTS. Mastering the System, and it's like a video that it's out there. I see it recycles every other year, and I see it again, and it brings back really good memories. It was just like it was like a raw moment, and like I remember thinking that day, like this is the day I met Eddie Bravo thing, you know, like it literally is on footage, and Eddie's recording on his phone. He's like, let's see what you guys got, and we're just showing him what we got, and it was super dope, and he was super excited. And then the clip over is the first tournament I ever did as a white belt, and Eddie was there recording as well, and it was like a blue belt white belt tournament mix at Gracie Nationals or Gracie Worlds. It was my first tournament ever, and like I remember just competing against a bunch of blue belts and just submitting everybody that day. And I won my first tournament, and I submitted everybody, and I looked good. And Eddie was just like recording; he was super impressed, and like it made me feel good. It made me like, God, this guy believes in me. He knows everything about jiu-jitsu. He believes in me. Then I might have something going for myself. You know, kind of gave me that reassurance that, you know, there's a potential growth here, and you know, I can keep evolving in jiu-jitsu, and I can maybe get something out of it, you know, and benefit off of it. So Eddie just kind of like, you know, when I met him, he's like, come and train with me, you know, like come to HQ and train with me in LA, and I'm over here in San Diego. So we started making the trip every week, twice a week, and we'll train there, train with Eddie, and then drive back 2-3 hours at like 10, 11 at 9 o'clock, get home like at, you know, super late, but it was all worth it. You know, I love training with Eddie. Eddie was everything I ever wanted as a coach, because he was super open-minded, super kind, super gentle, and he understood what we were good at and what we needed to work on. And whatever we were good at, he embraced. Instead of being like, don't use that in jiu-jitsu, he was like, dude, that's freaking awesome. Like, use that skill, use that movement, keep that, and that's going to translate good in jiu-jitsu. And Eddie always motivated us to keep dancing and keep doing jiu-jitsu, because it was good for us. You know, it's good to know both arts. And I always believed him and trusted his guidance. And Eddie, you know, showed me how to be a good student and how to train hard, but also showed me how to be a good instructor and how to be a good coach and how to be a good friend. You know, Eddie just a good mentor, and, you know, how to build my gym and how to build my career. If it wasn't for Eddie, I wouldn't be as motivated, I wouldn't be as pumped up, and I wouldn't be as driven, because Eddie, I'm just trying to follow his footsteps, the stuff he's accomplished. And Eddie's always creating new things, always hungry, always motivated. And, you know, even with jiu-jitsu, he's always looking for new stuff, always working on new techniques, and always evolving. And that's the mentality I'm about. That's the way I am. And that's the way our crew, the Freak Show, was. So, you know, becoming part of 10 Planet team was super easy for us. It wasn't like a hard transition. It made sense. We belong in 10 Planet, because 10 Planet philosophy is like the Freak Show philosophy. Yeah. You know, very similar.
You guys are like a family. Like it's amazing. Yeah. I saw the video of when you fought. Is it Hissam Reid? Is it the
Hissam Rita?
Yeah, Hissam Rita. And when he beat Richie, and then Eddie came up to you and said, "Avenge your brother's loss." That was incredible.
He knows me. Eddie knows me. He knows I'm a passionate grappler. You know, I try not to get emotional when I compete and stuff like that, but I do. You know, like I'm very like, you know, before I compete, like, you know, like I remind myself about everything that I went through to get to that moment. You know what I mean? And like almost like I feel like crying every time I compete. It's just like I'm very passionate about jiu-jitsu and about my art, and, you know, I'm very like competitive too. You know, and I don't let it destroy me and like ruin me if I lose or anything like that. You know, but I definitely, you know, use my, you know, I definitely like use all my life and all the things I've been through to motivate me and inspire me even more when I compete, to like really push through everything, and doesn't matter what comes my way, I'm gonna try to overcome it, because I have all these things that I've been through, all these things that motivate me, that got me to this moment, that I'm super grateful and I'm super happy, and I appreciate the moment, that I gotta like take advantage of it. You know what I mean? So like when Eddie tells me stuff like that, like, you know, avenge your brother, like I think about everything me and my brother ever been to. You know, I think about all the times he avenged me, you know, all the times we, you know, the good and the bad. And I'm like, you know what, like this is the Freak Bros. This is my crew. This is my brother. Like, this is my blood. I gotta go out there and represent. And like, you know, he had a tough match. You know, it didn't go his way, but, you know, it's my turn to go, you know, revenge him and show him that, like, you know, you might have got one of us, but the other one's coming even harder with a different style, you know? And that's what it was. I just have a different style, and my style against him mixed well. I know how to go against big guys like that, you know, like it doesn't bother me. So it just ended up being towards my advantage. And then, like, you know, a couple quintets, the next quintet over, like when we lost to Polaris, it was a very good matches and stuff. I ended up, winning my first match against one of the Gracies. I can't think of his name right now. One of the Gracies, one of the brothers or whatever. He's one of the top guys right now. I just can't think of his name, but I ended up beating him. He was part of the Polaris team, and I ended up going against one of the other guys. I can't think of those guys' names, but he was a really good leg locker, and I ended up getting caught in a leg lock. I've never been caught in a leg lock. Like, that was the first time I ever got caught. I just made a big mistake. But then Richie, my brother, went right after me, and I knew he was gonna fuck that guy up. And Richie rubber guard him and put him in a nasty carny like in a couple minutes. And it's weird because he kind of avenged my loss there. Yeah. And I avenged his loss at the other one in Japan. So we both are constantly like, we get motivated off each other, like I want my brother to do good. And when something bad happens to him, I'm gonna do everything I can to like reverse that or make it better. And he does the same for me. If I feel bad, he's gonna do whatever he can to reverse it. Like, we're not just like, everyone calls their friends like, they're close friends like family, but like my brother's like my real family. Like, I grew up with him. Like, we shared the same bed before. We've done so much together that like there's not many people in the world that I would die for, but my brother's one of them for sure. You know what I mean? Like, I just love him. He's done so much for me that like I always use him as motivation, even if he's not losing or nothing like that. I use him as like, I want to make him proud.
Yeah. No, it's amazing seeing these brothers in jiu-jitsu, like yourself and your brother, the Miyao brothers. My head coach, yeah, Rutolos. My head coach Ash Williams is someone who you fought.
Ashley Williams, yeah.
Yeah, and he's got a brother called Josh Williams, and he's incredible as well. Yeah,
those guys are all solid.
Yeah, for sure. But I want to talk to you about Ash Williams, because obviously he's my coach as well, right? And
right.
I know you fought him in EBI, and obviously you beat him in overtime. Is there something that you would like rematch with him? Is that something that?
Yeah, we were supposed to rematch before COVID. You know what I mean? Like, we had a match already scheduled and stuff, and he's one of the best top 145er, 35ers in the world, and I consider myself the best in the world as well. So I know he. He's just like me. He's a hungry fellow that wants to go out there and prove the world who he is, and all his hard work and dedication. He wants to show it. You know what I mean? And I got nothing but respect for that guy. But obviously, like, I'm a competitive guy, and like, like I want to beat him again. I want. He's the best guy in the UK right now in that division, and I would love to have that rematch and hopefully beat them in regulation, right? Like, that would be my goal right there. Like, that's what I want to. I don't want to finish people in overtime. I want to finish them in regulation, especially nowadays. I feel like he hit another level too. I feel like he's not the same grappler he was when I grappled with him back then. So I would love to grapple with him nowadays and just see where we're at, because I feel like I improved a lot myself too. So I think it'll be a very good, exciting matches. And at the end of the day, I think that's what we both want to do, is just put on really exciting matches and really show the people what we got, and I think both of us together obviously will be fireworks. I think people will really enjoy it, really love it, because I don't see him not trying to bring everything he got onto that match. I really see him going all in and really, fighting for his life in there, and I will do the same as well. I'm gonna fight for my life in there and really, really prove that I'm the one on top. But that's our mentality. That's what it takes to be on top. And I think he has the same mentality, and I respect it. He's been to my academy actually before, and came by and just chilled, and he brought his brother, and really good vibes. And those guys are always welcome at my gym, and they always show the same love when I come to the UK. So at the end of the day, it's like we're in a sense rivals when it comes down to like competing against each other, because we're the same division, same weight class, same skill level. But I got nothing but love for those guys, because they live the same life I do. They have the same passion I do. They struggle with the same things I struggle with. And I think for anyone to be committed to this lifestyle, you have to be a freak like me, and I respect that.
For sure, yeah. And this is why I love like watching you compete. I love watching Ash, of course. I love watching the Ruotolo brothers. The Danaher Death Squad, because you all put such an exciting fight on. You all go for the submission, which is incredible to watch, and I love that. And I know you've got a big fight coming up against Mikey Musumeci, is it?
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on that? Like, have you ever fought him before? I don't know if you fought him before.
I never fought him. I never been in a tournament that he's been a part of. I mean, like, me and him are very different competitors, as in like the stuff we wanted to win. I was more into the EBI, ADCC, who's number one stuff, like super fights. He was more of the IBJJ kind of guy, Gi. And I think now he's finally breaking through to the other circuit, the submission only circuit and stuff like that. I like to say the money circuit, where we make money at. He started to realize that that's where the money's at. And I think he's starting to switch his game up and really focus on that part of jiu-jitsu. And I think it's good for him because he's at the right time of his career. He's already accomplished pretty much everything he could for IBJJ. You know what I mean? Like, what else can he do? He's the most has the most gold medals in U.S. history for IBJJ. I mean, that's pretty impressive right there. And he's won everything as a little kid. All the way from gray belt to black belt, he's won everything. So it's really impressive. You know what I mean? But I'm not like everybody he's ever competed with. I feel like I'm like I said, like a freak. I didn't do the typical journey to my black belt. I had a whole different journey, and I feel like that kind of has an advantage, and it has like I feel like it's unpredictable. He doesn't really understand what I'm about or what I do because he hasn't competed against anybody like me, even though everyone says that. But just look at my journey, the stuff I accomplished, the stuff I've been through. There's no one like me out there in the game. You know what I mean? I really believe that. And I feel like he's super technical, super good at everything. There's no weaknesses in his game. But I think, mentally, I feel I'm stronger than him. I think I can break him mentally. I think he'll make a mistake because I feel like my mental game is a little bit stronger than him. He's more like, he always wants to be happy and friendly and stuff like that. Like, that's just not me. Like, when I go to a battle, it's a battle. It's a real battle. It's a match, And I don't want to be his friend right now. I don't want to be nice to him right now, And I feel like he's so used to having everybody be nice to him and be like, oh, he's so good. He's the best. And then he goes up to everybody. He's like, you're the best too. And it's like, that's not my style of competing. Like, I'm not going to compete with him like that. Like, I'm going to bring the real Geo, the real Freakazoid, and I'm going to let him know that he's not battling a normal BJJ black belt. He's battling a Freakazoid, He's battling someone that, like, to me, this is like, I'm so passionate about this. Every match is a life or death to me. Even though I lose, sometimes I die and I come back. You know what I mean? Like, I died several times in jiu-jitsu and I came back. And when I say die, it's like, I've been broken and I hit like walls and stuff mentally, but I always bring myself back up even after a loss. That's why even if it's a loss or death or life or death situation, like even if I lose and I feel like I die, I always come back reborn stronger. You know what I mean? And that's why every time I lose a tournament or I lose a match, that's why you see a whole new Geo when I come back, because I'm always hungry. I'm always hungry for more. So, when it comes down to this match against me and Mikey, I just want him to really realize that he's not going to be going up against, like I said, a regular BJJ black belt. He needs to expect me to come and bring the heat in many different ways, physically, mentally, and spiritually even. You know what I mean? I'm coming for him, for his soul. I want his soul. I want to break him. I want people to know that I'm the best 135 or 145er in the world. You know what I mean? And this is a good way to prove it because he's ranked number 135. I'm ranked 145 number 1. And I think it's the clash of, the ultimate small guy. Who's the best small guy right now? And then obviously we got other incredible grapplers out there in the mix that want a little bit of piece of both of us. And, like that'll happen soon. But I got this match in front of me. I'm really focused, really excited, really pumped up. And, I know I'm going up against someone that, that I respect a lot and someone that is unique in his own way too. Like Mikey's weird and strange in his own way. He has his own unique way of thinking and living his life. And, he's kind of a very interesting character for sure. He has his own interesting personality and ideas about jiu-jitsu. And I respect that. And I like that, actually. I do like that about him. But we're two different people, I'm not I'm not just always pretending everything's like super good and happy and like everything's perfect. Like, I like the rawness in real life. I like the truth. I like the, I appreciate the sweet because I understand the sour. You know what I mean? Like, I understand both sides of life. Like life is full of up and downs, and I get motivated by the downs and the up. I'm not always pretending everything's fake smiles everywhere. Like, that's just not me. And I feel like, I'm not trying to like say he's a bad person or anything, but like I get annoyed seeing him smile all the time. Like, like almost like being overly happy, overly like, because there's no one in the world that's like that. And I just almost feels like fake. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and I'm not saying he's a fake person, but he just comes across when he does certain things that like, it feels like this doesn't feel real to me. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like he's trying to play a character, a role. Like, and maybe that is who he is, and maybe I'm just creating all these things to make me hate him more, or maybe make me dislike him so I can have a more intense match. I don't know, but it's definitely a feeling I get, and I'm just going with my intuition.
Yeah.
No,
it's gonna be an incredible fight to watch. I'm so excited to watch that one. And you mentioned earlier you hit a wall with breakdancing. You wanted to do something different. Have you ever gone through that with jiu-jitsu, or have you always just been so inspired to do it?
like jiu-jitsu still feels fresh for me. I really love jiu-jitsu. It still feels new to me because I've only been this is my 10th year of jiu-jitsu now. I'm on my 10th year now. So I feel like now I really got into understand the game, the system, and I feel very comfortable in my place in jiu-jitsu. You know what I mean? Like I already feel good, so it feels good. But I definitely need to balance things out. I know a lot of guys that burn themselves out, but all they do is like their whole life is just pure jiu-jitsu, and like they have no other things that interest them or make them happy. And like I get overwhelmed just focusing on jiu-jitsu by itself. I need to balance things out, and I'm good with like mixing things up. I still dance. I'm still dancing now. Now I'm more motivated to dance than I was back in the day because I do it for fun. I do it because it balances me out. So like after a jiu-jitsu class, or maybe I don't feel like rolling, I'll just do a sick ass break session with my crew or my friends, and hang out, go get some good food. I love coming home and making beats, making music. I like playing video games. Like I love this stuff. Other things that keep me occupied and allow me to express myself without wasting too much energy. I think that's always good for everybody because, like around COVID time, like, everything got, when it was like when COVID first came out, like a lot of us couldn't train and couldn't do a lot of stuff. And like, just like, almost made me feel burnt, like not burnt with jiu-jitsu, but just burnt overall and like being competitive and like all that stuff. And I was just like, man, like, do I even feel like competing anymore? Like, like why am I still competing? Like, what's my purpose? Like, what do I want to accomplish right now with my jiu-jitsu? Like, what is my goal? And like, I kind of hit like a wall there, and COVID times was hard for everybody. For me, it wasn't too bad, honestly, but like the first like 2 months, 3 months, like I don't know why. Like I had like some kind of weird anxiety, depression, something that I never dealt with my whole life. Like I never thought like I would experience like anxiety or depression or something. I just never like felt it in my body, Like I always felt like I was always too busy or trying to do something to like really get caught in that world. But having so much free time during COVID and stuff, that like it made me depressed in a weird way. I have no clue where this came from, where it stemmed from. Everybody says it probably happened because of COVID, because a lot of people were feeling that way, and it just felt weird. Like I couldn't train the same. Like after class, I would just feel weird. Like I just wanted to go home and like sleep. Like I didn't want to do anything, and I just like kind of like talked to people about it, and then like a couple months down the road, it like went away, and then like a couple weeks later, I competed at Who's Number One against Miyao. That was my first match back, and I felt like that was the first tournament I went to that had no pressure in my head. I didn't really care. I just went in there and I was like, I'm just gonna have fun. I'm just happy to be here and get to do this again, because I honestly didn't think at one point I was ever gonna be able to fly again, because I felt like that anxiety was really intense. I was like, am I even gonna be able to fly again? Like I don't even know what the fuck is going on with my body and my mind. Like, am I gonna be able to be like social again? Am I gonna be able to fly and do things again? And just to get back to normal, fly again, and just like, just kind of get a breath of fresh air and be like, like everything's the same. It's just like I just created all these things in my mind, and I am the master of my mind. I am control of my own mind. And once I started thinking about that, I got really excited and really pumped up, and really I really appreciated and was really grateful to get the opportunity from Who's Number One to compete. And then after I won that match, that put me to number one. You know what I mean? Because I was like number 6 and he was number 1, and I beat him. And then that put me number 1, and I've been holding that spot down. So it was like almost like I needed to go through that, to remind myself why I do jiu-jitsu, and like why jiu-jitsu is valuable to me, and how much I love jiu-jitsu and how much it impacts my life. And I hit a wall, but I needed to hit the wall. It was almost like I needed to hit the wall to remind myself like how much I love this shit.
Yeah, for sure. No, 100%. And everything happens for a reason, right? And things like that make you into a stronger person and the person you are today, for sure. No, 100%.
I believe that, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, you mentioned about like setting goals and stuff. What are your goals at the moment? Is it sorry, most people I speak to about like, you know, jiu-jitsu practitioners, they always say their goal is ADCC. Is that your goal as well? Like, what is your goals at the moment?
Obviously, that's like the best. Like, if I win ADCC, then like, I mean, like, no one could say shit about me ever. You know, like I won the biggest nogi tournament in the world from 10 Planet. No one from 10 Planet ever won ADCC. So that is like a goal of mine. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, but it's not my main goal. You know, it's definitely a goal of mine. And like, I used to always have the ADCC medals on my phone. You know, like when I open my phone, I see ADCC, and I'm like, why am I putting all that weight on me all the time? Like,
Hmm.
I open my phone, I'm already stressed out just looking at the gold medals. You know what I mean? Like, why do I do that to myself? You know, and I told myself, I'm like, I don't want to look at that shit. When it comes, I deal with it. You know, I don't have to you know, drain myself this whole time getting ready for ADCC to try to win this and put all that pressure. It's like, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I'll be ready for the next ADCC, and I'm gonna win that shit in my mind. You know, that's my goal. So I'll be ready for that. And if it happens, beautiful, cool. I accomplished that, beautiful. You know, that's what I wanted. But I have other goals in life. You know, like I always been. You know, like I realized, like, and this is recently too, that like, you know, like what makes me truly happy is like helping people around me, like the community, and just building and just like, you know, opening opportunities and doors for other people as much as people done for me. You know, like Eddie did for me, or Ryan, or other people that just like open up these doors for me that, you know, I got to really um, you know, really benefit from. You know, and I want to do that for people too. So, you know, obviously, everyone knows that I have 10 Planet Oceanside, you know, which is a big academy and stuff like that. um, we're doing really well. You know, we have over 600 students at my academy. You know what I mean? Like, and my brother has his own academy. They have over 800 students. You know what I mean? So like, both of our schools together are doing really good right now. And you know, we have a lot of high level guys coming up from us. You know, right now that, you know, obviously, you got guys like Keith, PJ. You know, you got guys like Kyle Chambers and you know, Ricky Lule. All these guys are really solid grapplers that came up from us. You know, like from our team. You know, and they're representing at the highest levels, building their own name, getting their super fights, their seminars and stuff, and that feels good. And I want to keep creating monsters and people like that. You know, but also like, you know, I feel like where I'm at now, like I can only grow so much. So, you know, obviously, you know, like buying building all stuff is like really complicated. But right now, like I'm actually in the middle of a transition. Like we, our lease is over at this building, and I'm working on this other building that I'm trying to lease. Regardless if I lease this building or a different building, like it's all gonna be in the same location in Oceanside. And you know, my goal is to build like a super gym. Like we're gonna expand. We're gonna have a way bigger gym than we have now. We're gonna expand, and I'm gonna make it like a super gym. I'm gonna have like a full jiu-jitsu academy there. I'm gonna have a full MMA striking program. I'm gonna have a full CrossFit kind of like you know, strength and conditioning program, and then I'm gonna have a full dance academy program as well in my school, and that's what I always wanted to do. And I found this crazy building. It's a perfect building right there in downtown Oceanside. It's super wide and open, huge, and it's like 17,000 square feet or something like that, like insane, you know. So if everything goes good, if it's meant to be, you know, I'll be there in the next couple months. And I feel like, you know, I'm really looking forward to like building back up with the b-boy community at my school, and throwing events there, throwing jiu-jitsu events there. Like you could throw ADCC there. That's how big the venue's gonna be. Like, you know, it's gonna be a huge venue. It's gonna be sick. Like I could throw big breakdancing competitions. I could have like a, you know, junior dance like league for the kids. And you know, there's so much possibilities. And like that's what I want to do. I want to build my community and take it to a whole different level that no one has ever done. You know, a sick place that everyone wants to be a part of. They could go there, express themselves, and learn skills and develop their own ways, you know, their own future, do whatever they want with that. And obviously open jobs for people that are already ready to teach and, you know, to help out with the gym. And that's just my goal, like to build my community and do what I love and take it to a whole different level it's never been taken to before. Besides my skills and all that, I want to also build, you know, the environment around me and have something that, you know, is my home and something that I'm really proud of. I'm proud of my gym now, and I'm proud of everything we accomplished, but I think it's time to take it to our next level. And like the way everything's working out and the way life is, like, is meant to be right now. Like this is what's, I feel like this is my calling right now, you know, to really build this for the community, you know, for all of us. and just have the first 10 Planet Super Gym, and just something that's never been done with a high level dance academy, high level MMA, high level jiu-jitsu, and high level CrossFit and calisthenics. And like that's my vision, that's my dream since the day I started jiu-jitsu. And 10 years later, hindsight 2020, we're here now, and this is the right time. And the venue is perfect right there, waiting for me. I already made the offer. Now we're just waiting for them. Once everything is dotted, the line's dotted, you're gonna see me blow it up and go online, and everyone's gonna know about it. But right now it's still like, I don't want to really say, too much, even though I already obviously talked about it to many people. But I'm just gonna be patient and see what happens. If it doesn't happen at this gym, it's gonna happen regardless somewhere. You know what I mean? Like, it's gonna happen regardless. But I'm really hoping for this gym because it's just the perfect. I already see the vision. You know what I mean? When you have the vision, you really want to execute and go for it.
You can you can just tell how like excited you are just from you just talking about it. But what you do is so incredible, and like what other coaches do, because you provide so much value for other people. I feel like at the end of the day, that's the most important thing, right? Like you said, helping out the environment, helping out the people around you, and that's what you're doing every single day, constantly helping other people, changing lives in a way, right? And it's
Thank you,
just,
brother.
yeah, it's just amazing. And I just want to say thank you so much, Gio. Honestly, like I know that you are a busy person, so I won't keep you long. Just one question I just want to ask you before I do let you go. Is there anything that you would tell yourself if you could go back in time? Is there anything, like one thing that stands out to you, or
Yeah, just like just don't overthink it. Don't be overthinking everything. Don't be scared of the future, and don't be scared to go for shit. You know what I mean? Don't be scared to take on things that you might be scared to take on. You know what I mean? Like, go for it. Like, there's a lot of times when like I hesitated certain situations, and I regret it. I'm like, man, I should have just took control and went for it, but I was too insecure, or I didn't have the courage to do it. It's like, no matter what, even if you're insecure, you don't have that courage, like, just go for it. Because if you don't go for if you don't take chances and you don't go for opportunities, then you're never going to get results you're looking for. You have to take risks, because life is all about risks, these calculated risks. And sometimes they don't go out the way or the way you plan it to be, but you learn a lot from that experience either way. So, like, regardless, win or lose, it's all an experience, right? That's how I look at life. Like, go for it, because even if you lose, you're gonna learn from it. Same thing in jiu-jitsu. Like, go out there and compete, because even if you lose, you're gonna learn from it. You're gonna learn about yourself. So, if I could go back in time, just tell myself, like, don't be afraid to lose. Don't be afraid to look bad. Don't be afraid to, like, have other people talk bad about you or whatever. Just do whatever you believe in, and follow through, and take that risk. If you want it, go for it. Don't hesitate it, because you're influenced by the people around you. Like, listen to yourself. When people telling you, like, don't do that, that's gonna hurt you. Don't do that, because it's gonna backfire, or you're wasting your time, or you're a loser. Don't do that. Whatever. Like, all these negative energies from the outside world, like, who cares? Like, they live their own life in their own world. You're living your life in your world. Just focus on you and what you want, and take that risk, because you never know what's going to come out of it, and that's what I did with jiu-jitsu. I took that risk, even though, like, I lost some friends through it. I lost some, like, opportunities with some other things. And, some people thought I changed because I was focusing on jiu-jitsu, not dancing. People, were discouraged, and, kind of were disappointed in me, because I was a leader in the dance community for us over here where we're at. And people really respected me. It's not like I left the culture. It just, I needed something for myself, something that it wasn't for anyone else. It wasn't about anyone else. It was for me. I wasn't happy. So I did it for myself, and ended up being the best decision I ever made in my life. And, like, coming back around, I'm gonna build the community again. And all these guys that were disappointed in me are coming back to my life, and they're excited, and they're pumped, and they're like, man, like, you were right. Like, man, you committed to your vision, and you went through, man. Like, I see it now. Like, apologize for not believing in you and stuff. And that makes me feel good. And it's not about being wrong or right. It's just about, coming back around, and showing people that, like, like, I wasn't just blowing smoke. I wasn't just talking nonsense. I really had an idea, and I really had a vision, and I really had to commit, and focus, and go for it. And I took that risk, and that risk paid off. And if I would never taken that risk, who knows where I would have been? Maybe 6 feet under, maybe in jail. Who knows? But I'm here now, living life with my dog, like enjoying a sunny day here next to the beach. Like I'm about to go train at my gym. Like life is freaking awesome, and 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 it could be awesome for everyone. There's gonna be tough moments in your life. I would tell this to myself too. Like there's gonna be hard times in your life, but remember, life is full of ups and downs, and you gotta take the downs as much as you take the ups. The bitter with the sour, you gotta take both. You know what I mean? The sweet with the bitter, right? You gotta take both, because at the end of the day, life is like that. You gotta accept it. You can't change that. No matter what, you can't change that. The way you can, the thing you could change is the way you react to things, the way you let things affect you. And I don't let these negative things wear me down, because I know there's also good things to come, and I look forward to those good things, and I appreciate and value and am grateful for those things, those good things in my life. So who cares if I have some negative energy around in my life somewhere here and there? All that doesn't matter, because the pros and the good things, they're way better, and that makes me motivated, that pumps me up, and that keeps me driven every day of my life.
Yeah, no, honestly, thank you so much, Gio. Like just listening to you is amazing. Because I have watched you for a while, and just talking to you is kind of it's kind of crazy. Like I'm in awe at the moment. But yeah, no, thank you so much for everything you've said, for your time as well. I'm super excited to see you compete again. Against Mikey, and just in the future as well. I do believe that the gym that you want to open up will happen. It will happen, like you said. But yeah, no, thank you so much. What I'll do, guys, I'll leave all of Gio's social media down below. Go and check him out as well. This guy is definitely a freak, so you don't want to miss out. But yeah, honestly, thanks again, Gio. Enjoy the rest of your day, and hopefully I'll meet you in real life soon.
Oh, we will, we will. I'll definitely come visit you and your academy. Go say what's up to the crew over there. You know what I mean? Say what's up to Ashley. Go check out his part of the world, his little hood over there. Because I definitely told him that last time when he came down over here. I was like, I gotta go visit you sometime soon. So hopefully everything opens up soon out there more. And I know my brother's gonna be out there soon. And hopefully I'll make my way back out to the UK. I really love it out there. I love tea. So waking up to tea, to British tea is good over there. And honestly, I love the energy of the people out there. Everyone's super chill, always shows love, and I don't know. I always have a thing the way British people talk. It's very polite, very nice, and relaxing. And that's how you were today. Thank you for that interview. Very chill.
No, thank you. Yeah, thank you so much, Gio. And like I said, you know, I'll meet you soon, and have a great day. Say hello to everyone. Say hello to Richie. I've spoken to Richie as well. He's such an incredible person, like yourself as well. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Really appreciate it, brother. Anytime, let me know, and we're friends. All right. You already
Awesome,
know.
man.